grand total, conservatively, today is, from the gate proceeds, $2,500. Now, we've also had some generous donations directly to Soldier On today in the amount of $720. So that's on top of that. So thank you. And then we haven't put in the chairlift yet. So if everybody goes up, that's a great way. All that goes right into the fund. So thank you so much. All right?
A little story behind what happened and how this thing got going. It was a late start. I think we had our first meeting about 3 weeks ago, and as anybody that's organized one of these things can agree, 3 weeks is not a whole lot of time to get going. We know at the CAV, we normally host a motorcycle show down in Kingston, but due to military commitments, we couldn't get our space on the base to do that. So we had to do something else. And Freight Tech and Steve and boys from the casino unit up in the Tweed area came down and asked the owners here at Calabogie if we could do something to raise some money for Soldier On. Well, these people, Liz and her husband Paul, jumped on that like you wouldn't believe. We didn't know at the time that they run ski schools for our amputee soldiers in the winter. They run ski schools for amputee children. All this kind of stuff like that. So they just bound on it, and this is what it produced. A lot of advertising and stuff like that, and word of mouth. Because as you know, if you build it, they will come. Because it only works in the movies. If you build it, you better advertise the shit out of it so people know it. And that's what happened. They did it with dog radio, Shameless here, man. We got great music coming out. Everybody's just pitched in, and Soldier On is going to reap the benefits. Now for Liz and Paul, a little something special here. Trapper Kane, our CAB national president for Canada.
It's got Fights in the Bay down there. It's got Ride for Dad, Calabogie, Longley, Harley Davidson, and Calabogie Motorsports. It's got the blue for the supporter and the green one for the veteran. And the leaf.
None of this would be possible without the community, and that means you and our amigo here. I have the enviable job of riding across Canada and doing events like this every weekend. Across Canada 8 times in the last 5 years, and this is one of the best events that I've seen. Last night I had the honor of being in Belleville, Ontario. I met a young fella named Chris Hatton, who's one of our CAB members.
No, I didn't.
Hundreds of soldiers wounded in Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Hundreds of soldiers, sailors, and aircrew who suffered from everything else from cancer to other life issues. Chris was riding 2 o'clock in the morning from New Brunswick up past the Irving towards La Belle Province in Quebec, and 2 vehicles coming head on at him, one passing the other, not seeing the single light, took Chris out. Severed hand, severed leg, rehab, infection in the middle of all that, and then back into rehab. So we met Chris last night, and he didn't know what we're doing here tomorrow, here in Calabogie. So I asked him how things were going. He says, a lot better now that I got my physical therapy on the road. He said, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, he says, but there's an organization called Soldier On. And I needed to have physiotherapy and a treadmill or some type of a device where I could exercise and get my blood circulation through where the amputations were. And they told him to go and buy a device which is basically a high-tech mountain bike that folds in 2, so he can put it in the wheelchair with his vehicle and go out into the boonies after he's run it on the treadmill base that it's designed to mount into as a stationary bike. Soldier On provided the money without questions. They didn't ask him how he was injured. They didn't care where he was injured or when. They just knew he was injured and they wanted to help him. You helped him and all those hundreds of other people with your presence here today. And for you for making it possible, my friend, and your hard work, we have a tiny token of our respect for you. Our CAB organization, you've seen us running around. There's 3 CAB organizations inside the big family. First CAB, which is Central Canada, La Belle Province, Ontario, Manitoba, and Inuit. And on the right, everybody is Second CAB, and on the left of all that is Third CAB. We're a family organization. Veterans of the Air Force, Navy, and the Army, and those that support them, our wives, our girlfriends, hopefully those 2 never meet. And also the veteran supporters that we ride with, the people who always had our back, people who always helped us, allowed us to do our job overseas. And one of the greatest honors that I have when I ride across the country is bringing people into the fold. We've named 65 different groups of our CAB organization after battle honors in 65 cities across Canada. A battle honor that we pay respect to and remember the sacrifice of the fighting in the South African War is Paardeberg Unit, which is housed up in Ottawa. So, Kathy, please come up here. Bruce, would you come up as well? We want to bring Kathy Butts into the family.
All right.
This is a surprise. Bruce Riopel, going back to our military background, Bruce is a veteran and Kathy is a veteran supporter. Bruce and I were stupid enough, paid once to jump out of airplanes. We were stupid enough, paid once to be mountain warfare instructors. And now with the CAV, our mission is ride, have fun, help others. And our aim is to use strength and honor every day. Strength to get through every day and honor to do it the best way possible. And the best way possible for us to get through every day is through people who we love and respect, like everybody here, and in this case, a new fiancé. Kathy, welcome to the family.
I'll be the one to change them.
No, you don't change us. Have you figured that out yet? We're not changeable.
Just a point, and oftentimes, men stand with awards on their chests. They come home to families, and oftentimes it takes a man to realize when he's hurting and when he sees this and his peers going down, but also to remember that those that support him or her while they're in mission or anywhere else. And I often ignored that and didn't think it was that important.
Yeah.
But today,
Tell some stories.
I really believe that the women and the men who stand behind those in uniform are just as important, and they deserve friggin' medals too.
They're the ones we call
to bring
heroes.
someone into support, we can't
just 'cause
forget
you're
that. I
standing
think
beside
that's
one.
offered the balance here with the
Oh,
CAV
did you read that earlier?
in consideration to other
That's what I said.
organizations,
These are the people
because we
that
have a
sold that
balance,
call
and
heroes.
Kathy and I have talked about this often. And without the balance between the support of your wife and your husband or whatever, it could go awry. And we always thought about that, and we always said, hey, this is what our goal is, to continue to serve community, to continue to serve each other, and to keep it honorable. And for all you folks, I'm so glad to see a great turnout here today. And thanks, Trapper, thanks there, Drifter, and thank you all.
Death from above.